Hey guys, how are you? Principals Management students, welcome to week number 2. This is Mr. Argueta coming to you. It is Monday morning here. It is cold, as you probably have already noticed. It's been cold the last couple of days in the morning, but then it's going to warm up to about 80 degrees this morning. But week 1 went well. Thank you all for your participation. I appreciate it. As you have seen already in the video, my introduction. Every week I'll be coming to you in this format, record a video to let you know how we did last week, let you know what's going on for this week, and what to anticipate for the following week. So just kind of give out the expectations of what you're going to be looking at. So this week we are going to be dealing with chapters 3 and 4. In chapters 3, we look at what's called the 5 elements of the organizational macro environment. So in business, we are not looking at what we call a closed system. We are an open system. What that means is that in order for a business to operate, it has to operate with the elements that surround it. It cannot operate on its own. And people think, for example, I'm going to open up this business and I'm going to put it somewhere and somehow it's going to survive. And that's not how business functions. And one of the things that we're going to look at here is how we make a decision from a macro perspective. And of course, macro meaning a big view, where micro meaning a very focused view. In business, we are looking at things from a very big view, not from a very small view. And I think a lot of times people forget the concept that we are interacting with the big aspect. In order for you to utilize the information you have here, you have to understand that a business operates in a macro environment. So it operates as a big part of a big system. You're not just in business on your own, you're in business with the surrounding community, you're in business with the businesses around you. Yeah, so it depends on all of that. Therefore, we study here in chapter 4 what would be the ethical perspectives that guide a decision on why you do what you do. Now, this can go in a million different ways, but I'm only going to narrow it down to a few things. One of the things that I want you to do in this conversation is to study yourself, to self analyze what your expectation, how do you make a decision in life? What is the underlying ethical views that you're utilizing to make that decision? So in this chapter, you're going to study ethical views or perspectives, one of which is called utilitarianism. So in order for you to sort of self-analyze, I would like for you to answer this question, right? Not only tell me what your ethical view is, but describe or tell me in a situation where you are, and some people have heard this story before, it's called the trolley scenario. If you are a conductor of a train and your train is going at a high rate of speed, and essentially you lose control to brake, there's no brakes. You look down the road, and on the right hand side, there are 10 adults, and then on the left hand side, there's one child. You know no other information. That's all you know. You don't know why the adults are there, why the child is there. But what I'm trying to do is to push you to a perspective where you're going to have to make a decision. Now, I'm not trying to trap you in any way, so don't try to say things like, well, I will do this. No. The whole purpose of this exercise is for you to be forced to make a choice so that you can evaluate what ethical perspective you lean towards. Some people are going to say the 10 adults, some people are going to say the child, but I want you to explain to me why you made that decision. Another concepts that we look at here is we look at the concept of like, is it ever okay to lie? Are you, what mindset do you come with, or what ethical background do you have, or perspective do you view the world in? Is it ever a situation where lying is actually okay? It's good to lie. I'm not going to give you any more. Next week, I'll kind of wrap around back into this and sort of wrap it up and tell you what I think. But I want you to kind of answer honestly, self-explore, and see what it is. I have one other one that I talk about, and it's like if you would never break a law, but would you break a law if it were to help or save your family member? For example, if you were in need of a medicine and there's no other way to get it, and your child child or your loved one needs that medicine to survive? Would you break into a pharmacy to get that medication? So, of course, I understand that in a normal scenario, people would never be put in these positions, but if forced to, how would you make that decision? That's what this explores. Now, I also want to mention if you're going to, and I recommend you use software that helps you clarify your thoughts or maybe helps you outline it. What I do not accept, and I will zero it out, if you just prompt like a chat GBT or Grammarly to do the work for you. I can tell when it's not a person, when it's an artificial intelligence doing so. I'm not going to accept that. I expect you, these aren't difficult things to do. I don't expect a word count, but I do expect a solid paragraph. Now, if you're going to use it to correct any grammar mistakes, totally think you should. I think it's important for us to utilize tools. I think ChatGPT is a great tool. I think if you abuse it, that's where I have a problem with it. So if you're using it to correct your grammar, to clarify your statement, then yes. So how I recommend you use it is you type out your statement, what your thoughts in your own words, and then say, correct any grammar mistakes, and it'll write it out for you in a very clear form. Now, if you're prompting it to answer a perspective, then that will be clearly identified, and I will zero that out. So that said, not going to harp on those things because I believe we're all adults and you guys are here because you want to succeed. So this is part of that journey. So I hope you enjoy this process of self-exploration. I think it's important for you to sort of evaluate you as a person. How would you make a decision? Because it's going to affect you in the overall aspect of things. And I'm not going to bring up topics, but you've seen them on TV. If something conflicts with your ethical perspective and you're in business, how would you make that decision? How would you decide something if your ethics is going to lead your way? What ethical perspective are you utilizing? So in chapter 4, I think starts off in page 74, but it moves on to several other pages. Please take that advantage of those, read those chapters, and do something with that. All right. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a great week, and we'll take care